Okay, well here's the high voltage unit, and it's on the, looking at the back of the monitor, it's on the left hand side of the chassis. Appears to have 3 1/4 inch screws in it, so we're going to use a ratchet to get them loose here. Now the high voltage transformer in this monitor, you can't get replacements. I don't know whether they made a lot of extras or whether people years ago bought them all and used them up. I don't know what the history is on those. All I know is they're unattainable as far as new. I've never seen a new one. Now, somebody might have some new old stock out there. Might be hoarding them, I don't know. But I haven't ran across or heard anything about one, so. Okay. So here's the high voltage unit right here. And as I stated before, this is the focus pot, and the focus pot is screwed on here with these 2 screws, and it's made out of some type of plastic or bakelite or some brittle material that if you bump this, it'll break right at this mounting tab. So you got to be very careful with that. This is the first one I've ever had off, and actually took a close look at it. This right here on the outside is some type of regulator board for the high voltage unit, and it has a transistor that's mounted to the actual housing here with a screw, and it's got an insulator underneath it, so it's using the housing as a heat sink. And so if you want to take this board off, it's got a screw right here, but you have to take the screw out and pull this transistor out with it. Since there's no capacitors on this, it is an adjustment pot. I'm not sure what that pot's for. I'm sure it's to adjust voltage, but I don't know whether that adjusts the high voltage or if that just adjusts the voltage, whatever voltage this regulator is regulating. I'm sure it's several different voltages that run this thing. So also this header, the header pins right here, I've heard that you have to reflow them. Of course, you can get to them real easy on the back right here. And it looks like this board is held on with 2 screws up at the top here. And I don't know what, I know the high voltage transformer is in here, but I don't know if it's any capacitors. Yeah, it's one big capacitor underneath this shield, so we're going to have to take this shield off. But it looks like this shield can come off without messing with this board or that board. So let's go ahead and take that off then. Because I suspect we have some more caps left over, and I know some caps go in the high voltage section here. Put these screws back over here. Got one more down here. Okay, and now this other wire that goes to the focus pot has got a rubber garment here. So we got to try to fish this out. That appears to be stuck. That's in there rather hard. Okay, it might be better if I go ahead and just unsolder this pot and take it off and get it out the way. That way we won't have to worry about breaking anything. I think that'll be the best thing to do. May not be necessary, but I believe it is. I hate it when they twist wires together like that. Don't really want to cut that off. That ain't doing it. Okay, that's nasty looking, but I got it off. I might have to wind up cutting that wire anyway. At least get that out of the way. Okay, that comes out of the bottom of the high voltage transformer, it looks like. And if I was to take this off, I'd have to unsolder this wire too. I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm going to just be careful with that. Let's see. It looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrolytic capacitors in here. Let's see how many I got left in the kit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, exact number. Let's see if they're labeled. C900. Yeah, that's 900. 901. Yeah. 904. 904. Where is 904? I see 900, 90. 902. I see a 902 on the board, but I don't see a 902 on the cap kit here. So it must be a different version that has a different number. Because I see the 901 and I see the 900. I see the 911, and that's the 916 down there, and there's the 905, but this one up here is labeled 902, it's got a 904. Takes time to figure this out sometimes. Okay. They're showing a 901 right here. And there is no 901 in that spot on this board. So it's a different version of the board. They're showing 904 there, and this is 901 there. So yeah, they're actually showing more caps on this diagram than are in this cap kit. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go back and get the diagram of the high voltage board out of the manual and do a comparison on that. Okay, did a little research and I think I got this figured out now. The diagram here on the Ian Kellogg G08 right here is not the one that's in my G08. This is obviously issue 4, and as a matter of fact, going by his list of caps here, 1, 2, 3, 4, he's got 6 caps, so I've got 6 caps to go in here. Going by this list, I could only find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Is one that's not listed on this. But if I use the one that's out of the manual, I've actually found all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're all listed the same as what's in the cap kit. So the caps are in the cap kit. It's just that the little diagram is misleading unless you happen to have this one, and then you're not going to have that cap. This has some caps in it that's not even in the kit. So I don't know. Since there's so many different versions of this, I don't know what will be the right way to do this. I guess people are just going to have to do a little research and just go by whatever version of the monitor you have. But I kind of feel like what I have is what most everybody else has, because I've out of the boards that I've been collecting over the years, all of them seem to be relatively the same. I've never seen any of these boards with the different designs on it. So anyway, now that we got that all figured out, we need to go ahead and just replace these caps in the high voltage section. So we'll start out with the next one on the list, which is C900, and C900 is right here. So if we look at this, C900 is right here. So that's the one we're going to take out next. And it is marked positive on the board, negative is up on the top side. And there it is right there. And let's see what it is. 4.7 microfarad at 25 volts. one out of the kit here. Which is a 4.7 at 50 volts. Okay, that'll work. Make sure we get our positive and negative correct. A little difficult working on this. Let me prop it up a little bit. Because I don't want to damage the circuit board on the side over here, and I don't want to damage the pot on the front side. So I got to be real careful with this. Still like to solder that. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, one down. Now let's find the next one. Next one is C901. And C901 is right here, just below the integrated circuit. And this should be it right here. Yep, C901. Now that one has a diode soldered onto it. Okay. Alright, I just pulled it out without cleaning it. Actually looks like that diode is stuck in the hole with the capacitor. Yep, looks like it's right on the edge of it anyway, so 4.7 at 25 volts. .7 at 50 volts. Positive on the positive side. That diode is on the negative side. I'll solder that first. Okay, that looks good. Now let's see the next one here. C904. C904 is right there. Right up here in this top corner. And let's see what we got. 22 microfarads at 25 volts. Two microfarads at 50 volts. That'll be good. Positive to positive, negative to negative. Alright, next one, C905, and where are you? C905, right here, straight across from the transformer. So there you are, hiding right there. Alright, gotta try to figure out where this thing is. There it is, hiding under that resistor right there. Alright, polarity is marked and it's right. This one is a 22 microfarad at 25 volts. And what do we have here? 22 microfarad at 50 volts. Let's go to positive, negative to negative. Keep saying that to yourself and you won't make a mistake, hopefully. I lost my solder again. I need a little solder holder, a little solder stand. Alright. All right, 2 more to go. C911. C911. Let's see where that one is. C911, right above the transformer. This big, fat looking one right here. Okay. And that's another one that's got a leg of a transistor soldered to it here. Don't you love it? Let me double check, make sure. Actually, it's got the leg of this transistor right here and the leg of this resistor on this side. So, oh boy, a twofer. Okay, that shouldn't be too difficult to replicate. Now, looking to make sure, yeah, it's marked right. Positive and negative is correct. And this is a 100 microfarad at 16 volt. Microfarad at 50 volts. That'll work. Positive goes on that side, negative goes in the other. Alright. That ought to solder up pretty good. Okay, See that one right there? That transistor is soldered to one side, and that leg of that resistor solders to it, and then goes over here, solders over there. So they really did some hacking or modifications to this board. I guess all that was an afterthought, I don't know. Alright, got one more left. C916. And here it is right here, C916. It's just above the high voltage transformer. So that's that big guy right there. And nothing soldered to him. Alright. He's also marked correctly. And this one is a 47 microfarad at 160 volts. And this one is 47 microfarad at 250 volts. So that'll work. Alright. Positive on positive. Negative to negative. Do it right there. Okay, that completes the cap kit. All caps have been installed. The only thing left to do now is to go ahead and solder this header pin here. And it definitely looks like it's cracking around at least two, maybe, no, 1, 2, 3 of the pins anyway. So yeah, this definitely, oh gosh, and that one right there really looks bad. I don't know if I can get this up here close enough for this thing to focus or not, but you see that one right there? It definitely looks like it's not very good soldered on it. And these other pins, they don't look all that good either. So we're gonna touch them up. Alright, had to move the camera around, see if I can get situated better so I could get to these. And I'm just reflowing some fresh solder on the pins. This is the connector that where all those wires loop. A lot of them are wires going to that one plug off of the deflection board, plug into the high voltage board through this plug. That's a big nasty looking one right there, but I'm gonna heat it up anyway. Okay, that wire come off. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, all those are soldered. Look the rest of these over. Look at the pins around the flyback. They all look good, so I'm not going to mess with them. So like I say, you can't get those flybacks. Everything else looks good. We're ready to start putting this back together. See if I can't clean this up a little bit. Wire off of here. Okay, well, we got the cover back on the high voltage unit, and we put our boot back on the wire that's coming off the flyback. I've already tinned the wire and tinned the little tab on the pot. So now we're going to go ahead and solder that wire back on. More solder on there. And that should do it. All we have to do is slide this boot back on. Okay, that's done. I guess we'll go ahead and bolt it back into the chassis, but first I'm going to take some simple green and I'm going to scrub the chassis down. Since it wasn't horribly dirty, but it's a little bit dirty underneath where the deflection board was. I didn't want to risk washing it down with water, so go ahead and scrub it down real quick, and then we'll put the high voltage unit back in. Ready to put the high voltage unit back on. So, let's see if we can't get it started here. Tighten it down. Okay, that ought to do it. Alright, well, got that much done. Now the only thing I need to do is put the deflection board back in, but before I do that, I want to do some more troubleshooting and just try to see if I can check the transistors without pulling them off the board to see if I can detect any shorts, because with that rectifier blowing, I'm hoping that it didn't take anything else out, but I'd hate to not at least check it out and try to rule out a short in it and take a chance on putting it all back together and putting power to it and then having a bunch of stuff blow up. After that, we'll be ready to give it a try. So we're getting closer.